So welcome back. This is a video that I have been wanting to make for quite a while, ever since I got my hands on a new splitter with a 6-way wedge. So I've got the option of running a large single wedge, which is what most people are used to, a 4-way, which is my favorite wedge by far, and a 6-way, which I have tested the least of anything. I see a lot of people online running 6-way wedges, and they're trying to push huge rounds through. And while that works, you just wind up with 6 large pieces. I personally find a 4-way seems to be the best for working down large pieces. And the reason being is because I can raise the 4-way up and I get a lot of this single wedge still left available underneath it, less than you will with the 6-way. I personally believe a 6-way is best for smaller size wood. The ultimate goal here in my mind is to do one push and get 6 perfect pieces of firewood. Now that's where this test is going to completely vary for everybody. Understand, we're down here in Florida. Recreational burning is what we do. We split really small size pieces that dry quick and burn good in small outdoor fire pits, from solo stoves to homemade fire pits. That's just what's desirable here. So my test today is really for my benefit and yours if you split small size firewood. Now if you're up north and you're running boilers and you want boiler size wood and large pieces to heat a home, well, your results are going to vary from mine. You're probably going to want larger pieces coming off with one single push, right? Well, I need smaller stuff. So what we're trying to find out today is, can I find the right size wood within a certain size range that I can get perfect firewood in one push, or a few leftover pieces that I can raise this wedge back up and work underneath? And is there enough available wedge left underneath the 6-way? It looks like there will be, because this has such a tall wedge. So that's what we're trying to answer. And ultimately what this is telling me is, as I build out my wood yard, well, the certain size wood that I know will work perfect on this and be high production, I'll store in its own individual pile, and all the bigger stuff will mix up in its own pile and run it through the 4-way or even the single way for the really large stuff. So you've seen I just went through a bunch of random size wood here. I've got all the way from 7-inch up to 12-inch logs. That's kind of the range I feel like is going to give me the smaller size splits that I'm looking for, but that's what we're going to answer today. And I want you to see what comes off of this, and you let me know what would work best for you. All right, so I'm going to start out with 7-inch material, split in 2 of those, then go to 2 8-inch rounds, 2 9-inch, and then I have 2 12-inch. Let's see what comes off of all of them. The ultimate goal is to center the wedge up as best I can on these and see what it produces. All right, I'll cut the engine off in between so we can talk. So very good results. By the way, that's as low as I can carry the 6-way down. That's why my top splits come off as small as you've seen right here. Now with that said, I really like the size of the top splits for things like the little solo stoves that are so popular. We actually have one now, but that is a bit small, even for bundling wood. So it looks like we're gonna have to go up a little bit larger. But if we look at all the other pieces that come off, that's getting close to what I'm really wanting right there. That's a good sized piece of firewood for your typical outdoor fire pit. This might be a little on the large size for some people, but this is probably what you're looking for whenever you heat a home. Let's look at some of the other pieces here. I should have raised the wedge up. All right, let's look at the other two pieces on the bottom. Almost perfect. That's exactly the size that I'm looking for. So believe it or not, 7-inch wood is just about perfect. I'm gonna split this other 7. If it looks similar, we're gonna move on to the 8. The 8 may be exactly what I'm looking for, but I'm hoping somewhere between, like, say 7 and 10 or 11-inch wood will give me good enough results that I can kind of mix match a pile and I don't have to be very picky about what I store in this pile for the 6-way. All right, so very similar results on the 8-inch piece of wood as the 7. Several perfect sized pieces and some smaller stuff, which again, I personally like to have mixed in. The other good news was one of the pieces, just the way it kind of slid over, was a bit large, and I was able to raise this wedge up enough. I've still got probably a good 6 inches of working room to make a single split. That's more room than I was thinking that I had with the 6-way. So thus far, it's working out beautiful. All right, I'm gonna bust up this other piece of 8-inch that I have, and then we're gonna move on to some 9-inch. I have a feeling that is now starting to look like the perfect size because I'm still getting small splits off the top. So the 9 may give us 2 bigger pieces off the top and be close to perfect. But right now, I'm happy with the 7 and 8. Maybe we can get up to 9, 10, or 11 and still be perfect. Here's what I like to see. 2 pushes and I got all this wood, and that's only because I re-split one piece. Otherwise, I would have had exactly what you see over here with 1 push. That's awesome. All right, so that was the 9-inch, and I'm really happy with those results. I had one large piece that probably would have been fine for you if you're heating with a home, but not quite what I'm looking for down here. Now, none of these I re-split. Let's just give you a little mix here of what come off. Now we're talking. I really like that mix right there. This is a perfect piece of firewood, at least for our area. So thus far, 9-inch is giving me perfect results with 1 re-split, and it's so quick to re-split with this hydraulic wedge right here. I'm really liking that, and I'm happy with the results I got on the other ones. So I'm gonna split this other piece of 9, and we're gonna move on up to a 12. I wish I had some 10 and 11, but I just don't in this particular pile. I have a feeling 12 is gonna be too big and cause me to do a few re-splits, but I wanna show you 12 because what comes off of it's probably gonna be the perfect size firewood if you have a wood stove or you're heating. All right, so I hit a pretty nasty knot in that piece, so it held up there for a second, but eventually pushed right on through. 12-inch, no, not for me. If you were doing boiler wood, well, this is probably exactly what you're looking for, but this is just gonna take way too long to dry, and this is not what us or any of our customers are wanting for, well, small fire pits. So every single one of these pieces are gonna have to be re-split, which it looks like I still have enough wedge to do that. But that's a lot of extra small pieces on the pan. I think I'd rather bust up 12-inch size with a 4-way. It just seems like it'd be a little more efficient. So 7 to 10-inch trees in the future, I'm gonna keep a special spot on the property for them. Probably just keep a tape measure in the tractor, and as I haul stuff in or skid it out of the woods, I'll just go ahead and throw a quick measurement on it, know exactly where it needs to go, buck it up, and put it in its own individual pile. Once I build up a huge pile of 7 to 10 or 11-inch rounds, man, I can come out here and just go crazy. You're talking about some serious production with the only having to occasionally resplit one piece, but you're getting 5 to 6 pieces off through every push. That's when I'll for sure need Tiffany out here, or man, I wish I had a conveyor, because you're talking about a lot of wood coming off this thing, something I have never experienced before. All right, I think that settles it. If you're looking for boulder size wood, 12 inch, somewhere around that range is good. If you're looking for smaller kind of stove wood, probably the 10 and 11 inch range looks pretty good, maybe some 9 inch stuff. And if you're looking like fire pit wood, campfire wood, things like that, that's really popular here, the 7 to 10 inch range looks like we can make some serious production with that. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed it. This is a test I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm gonna leave the camera rolling. I'm gonna bust through some more rounds that I have here, and I'll throw the sizes up on the screen if you wanna watch a little more splitting. We'll catch you on the next one.